Hey, welcome back to Real Talk. Pastor Joe, do you know how I know if I'm in a Christian's home?
I wouldn't be able to tell.
If they have Christian swag on the show.
Let's go! Christian swag everywhere, like this?
Like this, right here. I remember to pray each day because I have an hourglass that reminds me. If I didn't have that, I wouldn't know I'm supposed to pray.
Do you pray that much?
Of course I do, don't you?
I actually love going into a Christian kitchen with a spoon that says, "Bless this kitchen and all who eat here." Because, like, if you don't cook with a Christian spoon, you know that everyone's getting food poisoning.
I would,
like if this is all it takes to make a good meal, get me more of these spoons. You too?
Absolutely. We have a cutting board. We one-upped you. We have a cutting board here that has a Bible verse on it. Because there's nothing like chopping up some fruit on a Bible verse cutting board. That's important to your kitchen.
In my house,
we will chop fruit and serve the Lord.
Unbelievable. Perhaps one of my favorites is this pillow. Every morning when I wake up on this, it reminds me to pray. If we didn't have pillows like this,
you wouldn't know.
I mean, without the timer, without the pillow, how could you rise up and pray without someone making a pillow that says, pretty sure you need this on your couch. I could probably auction this off for lots of money because it would drive the spirituality up like crazy in people's houses.
I bet you don't have a Dope by Faith t-shirt.
You know what? Isn't that what I was wearing this past Sunday? I should wear maybe this week.
I did notice when we came in that you are actually wearing the full armor of God today, right on your wrist.
How did you guess? This bracelet, the full armor of God, it reminds me every time I look at it to put it on, because if I don't wear this, for sure I am susceptible to the schemes.
You are vulnerable.
I know, I'm trying. Here we go. Perhaps my favorite. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these or not. Do you know anything about testaments? Testaments, a mint with a message. On the back, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And unless you take this mint, Brad, you will never know this message.
That is the message?
That you need, yeah. If you have a mint with a message, then for sure you're going to come to know Jesus.
Great.
Christian swag.
Great. You have to have Christian swag.
I know.
You have to have a cross on the wall in your house. You have to. This one is actually heavy enough that when our kids get out of line, and it says, "Love is patient, love is patient, love is kind." That's what we use it for.
Stone cross. All of us have. If you're in Christianity at all, you have this stuff around your house, around your office. People give it to you. It's certainly funny. There's a lot of fun that we can have with it, and some sort of weird things like this clock timer thing. But when you think about it, why do we have this stuff? When you've processed sort of these things, what do you think the reason that we have this Christian swag is?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that in some ways there's, we like the reminder of having Bible verses and things like that around us. And that's good. I think that in some ways, though, we treat some of this stuff almost like it's part of our faith, almost in a superstition kind of way. Like it's our Jesus, lucky rabbit's foot. That if we carry this with us, it's going to somehow protect us, or it's going to keep us safe or whatever, or it makes us more holy. And I just wonder if we use it sort of as a, as a talisman that we carry for good luck sometimes. What are your thoughts?
The rabbit foot kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's interesting to see in culture how many people will wear a cross, and there's some people that are sincerely wearing crosses.
Of course.
And then there's probably people that it's like, you might as well have a rabbit's foot around there. Jesus rabbit's foot, and I think there's some sincerity to this, that there are definitely, I got Yankee swag. You like certain sports teams, you kind of want to wear your gear because it represents who you are. You want this stuff around your house and t-shirts and hats because Jesus is my guy and I kind of want him in my life and I want to wear his swag. I think I also, probably people that are craftsmen, that someone that made this, they have a sincere desire to do art. So there's Christian art that's out there, and there are people, graphic designers, that are trying to use their creativity to advance the kingdom or to make a name for Jesus. And there's probably some sincerity to, hey, Christian art, there's something cool about it. If I'm going to make mints, why not make mints with a message? there's probably, for a lot of people, a sincere desire to create something for God. Yeah. Probably the thing that maybe I would say find the most fascinating and maybe the most challenging is that sometimes we think there's secular things and sacred things. Like there's things that I do that aren't connected to God, and then there's things I do that is connected to God. And so if I'm gonna have t-shirts or wristbands, I better have a sacred one. If I'm gonna do something, create art, if I'm gonna take a photo of something, I better put a Bible verse on it, like baptize it with Christianity or a Bible verse to make it pleasing to God. Instead of seeing that everything we do, right, is meant to glorify and honor God. And so if I make a wooden spoon, I can create a really killer wooden spoon and never put a Bible verse on it.
And it still glorifies God, right?
Why?
Because God gave you the skill to do that.
Yeah. And I think sometimes that's missing. Like, music doesn't always have to have explicit Christian lyrics to honor God.
Yeah.
Art doesn't have to have baptized with it, put a verse on every beautiful black and white photo you take. Sometimes you do, you put it on, and that's cool. Other times you just you let the art stand for itself.
Right.
Some business people, like maybe the people that made testaments, it's like they're trying to create something and they make mints, but it's cool if you make a mint and you don't put a message on it.
Right.
If you're a landscaper, you can weed whack to the glory of God, and you don't have to make the name of your landscape company like God's Lawn Care. You don't need to do that. Like, it honors him and pleases him because you just do good mulch.
Garden of Whedon.
Did you come up with that yourself? That's absolutely brilliant.
I think the thing that strikes me about some of it is we think having it offers us some kind of protection, though, even spiritually. And I think the thing that I would remind all of us is that, if we're a part of God's family, if we've been adopted into God's family, God puts the Holy Spirit inside of us. And so we don't need a tchotchke on the shelf to remind us. Like, we are walking every day in the presence of the Lord because the Holy Spirit is inside of us. Yeah. And God writes his word on our heart. And so it's great to have reminders, but that's not our protection. God is our protection.
Yeah, that's sweet. And just that simple, basic reminder. So I would say, authentically, some of this stuff, if you're down with a cutting board that's got Jesus stuff on it, like, great, that's cool, but does it have a purpose beyond just being your lucky charm?
Right.
Or are you just cool with, I just have a cutting board? It's all good, right?
Cool.
I think, for
good.
sure.
Garden of Whedon. I'm sorry, I can't stop.
As long as I'm protected.
You are wearing the full armor.
Full armor of God right there.
Full armor of God. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. See you next time on Real Talk.